going from, selling hats out on the corner and, closing businesses and opening them up, living from, I guess, shipment to shipment. What was the first sign of success that you can recall?
I think the first sign of success, because my life is like all of us, has been many little successes leading up to others. The first sign of success was I got a store to carry my stuff, and now they're selling out of it. A small store, didn't matter. But now I'm getting proof of concept. Now I'm starting to understand what's selling.
Right.
Starting as a designer, we all want to make a million colors, a million styles.
Right.
So what did I do? I stood outside and I found out the store would sell, and even now it's true in fashion. I made 10 colors, but the store sold 60% of black and 20% of white.
Right.
So now I cut my SKUs down to white, black, and blue.
That's
right.
right.
I had 10 logos. Only wanted 2 type of logos, the FB and the other one. So I cut my logos down.
Right.
They only wanted double X at the time because back then nobody's
like
wearing no shirt that says small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wanted it. So that was the first success, getting to test that, right?
Right.
Because you see on Shark Tank, we always say, "What are your sales?" The reason why we're asking your sales is we want to know who's your customer, right? Because if you don't know who your customer is, then how am I going to invest in you? Because then I don't know who your customer is.
That's right.
Right. Then the next success was I went to Vegas and I did a trade show and I wrote $300,000 in orders.
Dope.
Then I'd come back and I'd start making the orders. I would almost lose my house and go bankrupt because I didn't know how money worked. Took an ad in the newspaper and Samsung Textile Division called and said, "We want to manufacture and distribute your clothes." LL Cool J putting FUBU in the Gap ad. All these are a bunch of successes to me that added up.
Certainly. Now, LL just like haphazardly just did that, or did you guys already kind of like have some form of an agreement?
We had some form of an agreement, but he did that on his own. I mean, listen, a lot of people want people of your nature and various other people or me or who are influencers, but L was an influencer and a mentor,
right.
and he lived the product. He really believed in our mission, and he would have done
That's
it
dope.
no matter what because he felt that the mission needed to be heard, and he put that in the Gap ad. Now that was crazy. I mean, he technically could have got sued for that.
Word.
You know what I mean? Because he's going off script, and they could have said, "Yo, what are you doing here?" You know what I mean? They could have just said, "Here's damages." And they could have probably tried to sue him for hundreds of millions of dollars. Say, "Yo, you just damaged our brand."
Damn. So for us, by us, where did that come from, essentially?
For us, by us came from when I started hearing that Tommy Hilfiger doesn't like African Americans, or Ralph Lauren doesn't like inner city kids, or whatever, doesn't like whatever. And I was saying to myself, who's ever going to value the crowd? Now, I know those are rumors now because I know those designers. But
Right.
Timberland, at the time, it made a comment saying we don't sell or make our boots for drug dealers, and they put that in the New York Times.
Damn.
And you and I know that cats up in New York.
That's who kept the lights on.
That's it.
That's who kept the lights on.
That's it. So
Atlanta too.
Yeah, of
and
course.
everywhere in between.
Of course. Listen, man, I used to literally wear my Timbs with my bathing trunks when I go to the beach, straight up. Right. So
Where you from originally?
I'm from New York. I'm from Hollis, Queens.
Okay, Queens. Okay.
So if you make technically the best boot in the world, well, if you're only selling the mountain climbers, they only need it once every year.
That's right.
But if we buy them the way we
Lifestyle.
buy Jordans or Yeezys,
Yeah.
I need to buy 2 new pair a month.
Now that's your spike.
Yeah. and then you just told me I was a drug dealer.
Right.
When I wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? Now you've kind of, boxed me into a formality or stereotype.
Stereotype. A lot of people do think that FUBU was only for people of African American descent, and that's incorrect because then I would have been a bigot the same way that Timberland was. Back then, I would have dressed Beastie Boys. I would have dressed MC Serch. Today, I would dress Eminem. I don't give a shit. As long as you loved hip hop, that's what it was. So, FUBU was a brand that was created from an art form that African Americans created. And I always wanted people around the world to enjoy it the same as people want to enjoy your music, to let them understand our world.
Right. That's dope.